Hey, it's DeBeery. I enjoyed Jason's boating stream very much yesterday evening. He's a brave man trying to learn from scratch on a stream. I figured it might be useful to see sort of the loop, the mechanics loop, and what I've got scripted and what I've got manual when it's kind of going as perhaps more it should. So yeah, we're just going to go out, sink a couple boats. I've got some stuff scripted. I do a lot of stuff manually. I've been boating for a few months, and definitely this is not optimal, but it may be more optimal than clicking gumps and that sort of stuff. First thing I'll mention is I've got this boat launch cooldown. It's based on when I last recall, so that's always nice to see. These hotbars, or these buttons, are macros with the say commands for the different ship commands. I've also got some stuff like spells hotkeyed in Razor, and then I've got some background scripts in Razor. I've got a lot of the sort of movement as say commands in client macros so that they won't disrupt my background scripts. So it looks like we're about ready to be able to launch. I'll get a couple mummies up. I'm running a Nox Necro, which according to better boaters than me is the definite optimal PVM sort of setup there. Get these mummies to guard me. All right, so when I'm launching, you can launch anywhere inside 10 tiles from where you are. I just run down the left side of this list. Embark, ship hotbars, embark followers, reload, and then bring up the crew. Then I hit F1 to get my spyglass going. Basically, I set these up like this. When they do an update, you sometimes need to change your targeting mode. I go accuracy. So we'll stop there. I don't need to keep that one up. Looks like my ship might be a little hurt from last time around. I can see that there, so I'll just do a couple repairs. One of the things I do when I first set up is I throw this in here, and then I run a script that basically sets two variables. It sets the hold variable, and then it sets this bag in the hold variable. And then when I want to dump what I've looted into my hold, that makes it nice and easy to do that. I've just got a hotkey to run that. Looks like I need another repair. This guy is buried in the city canals. He's ungettable. I do have mapper up on a second screen, so I kind of don't really need this map that's behind this stuff. And yeah, where I'm looking here is I'm basically just looking for boats on here. It is in the background, running my background script that'll hit the spyglass every 6 seconds. Repair the hull a little bit more, I guess. All right, so now we're kind of cruising out of Cambria. And we'll see if we can find some boats to sink. The general sort of gameplay loop is I'll spy a boat, I'll pull their arrow up so it's sort of on the perimeter of my window here. I'll go towards it, I'll throw an ability on it, I'll mass curse the group, the enemy crew. We can start with this small demon ship. It'll only have a couple, so it won't really show the AoE spells all that well, but we can certainly show the mechanics. All right, so now we're coming in on this boat. We're gonna come up on them. I'll throw an ability. I hit X there. That's the hotkey for my regular ability. I'm gonna hit 5. That's my hotkey for mass curse. And then I'm gonna start poisoning. On the right side here, I'm looking at this cannon cooldown. This will tell me when I'm next able to fire my cannons. I'll fire my lesser ability. I kind of target on the sails. I find that that's a pretty easy way to go. Now we can see that their health is pretty low. I do Shift B to board. That could probably be more scripted than it is. That's just an in-client macro. So now I've just boarded, and also as part of that macro, I hit a couple necromancy abilities. In my wizard grimoire, I've got Chain Lightning, which I just dropped, and Meteor Swarm, so that those won't hit my crew. They're maxed out in the grimoire. I've got my Anmani Harm as a hotkey. I'll hit F6 is my blow up a corpse. I think it's called pain spike. And then we've basically done that. This recall crew will bring back both my crew and my followers. And then I'm going to kind of run over here and I'll do a quick skin. So skinning is an easy way to open up the corpses. I've got my delay set so that this stuff is all just now queued. I'll run over here. I'll hit another script that will loot the enemy hold. And in front of both my skinning mechanism and my looting mechanism, I have it hit my spyglass so that each time over here it's kind of running, but it has not yet re-engaged my background script, which is sort of nice to have, that sort of thing. So at this point we see this guy has 486 left. I'm gonna head back to my boat. I could probably do this with just a regular cannon shot, which I have as a hotkey of F. And now we've sunk that. So that's kind of a pretty small ship. You don't really get to highlight the AoE benefits of the Wizard Grimoire spells there. So I'll do that. I'll throw up quick magic reflect. And then so I have some stuff in my bag. I can hit my hotkey to dump it, and it's going to move all of my gold, doubloons, booty, leather, kind of random stuff. There's a couple things that I think it misses, but they're not heavy things, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Once it's done dumping, then I sort of re-engage my background script there. Sometimes if the spyglass has hit in the last 6 seconds, it'll kind of pause for a single rotation. So now the background script is running again. This combat likely tells me when I will have likely the next ability to repair without kind of wasting my in-combat one, so that's good to know. We're going to head up to, let's see where these two are. Let's go kill some pirates, being pirates ourselves. And since I'm out of combat, I may as well get a quick repair in anyway. I'm looking over here, I see that all of my abilities are ready. If those are on cooldown, you don't necessarily want to come in on a bigger boat. I'm going to drop my big ability, Icebreaker on that one, throw a Mass Curse, target the sail. There's a bunch of random stuff going on here. I'll be poisoning the crew. Looks like my next cannon shot's available. I'll throw my regular ability, which is hotkeyed as a say command. I'll keep poisoning the crew. They're pretty low. I should be able to board now. Hit my board, hop on, throw down a chain lightning. Hope it hits somebody that's kind of in the middle. All right, now that somebody's dead, I can hit my pain spike, hit a poison strike, and then just kind of mop up with some other Wizard Grimoire abilities. Those I have just as razor hotkeys. It looks like somewhere sort of in those targets, I've borked my background script, so I'll hit F1 again to kind of get that back up and going. There's definitely some kind of weird behavior and overlaps and that sort of stuff in my setup and how I'm doing this. It's certainly not ideal. We see that I got a crew contract there. I can send everybody back. I'm going to loot these corpses. And so this is a rowdy place to be on a rowdy time of day. Saturday is sort of a weird time to be doing this. And we could very well see some PvP this evening if somebody's rolling up on me as I'm just kind of faffing around here on a Carrack. Jump in here and loot the enemy hold. I like to double click this guy to pull that up. Here, for the sake of getting out of here quick, I'll throw down a bomb. I've actually just been taking a look at a bomb script there that someone else has shared with me, so I may use that in the future, but a bomb will do about 1,000 damage. Cannon shot, probably on my boat with my setup, will do about 500, so we've just sunk that. So now we can kind of move. I was very recently on it, so I'll start my background script going. It's good to have that going. You do want to see when a gray boat is rolling up on you. I think as a setting here, I do want to close all anchored gulps. That's one that I do not have on my Skinner Echo, and I do want on this guy. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the main loop of it. For my movement hotkeys, I've got Q, W, and E as forward right, forward, or forward left, forward, and forward right. I've got A as turn left, S as stop, D as turn right, and then Shift A sort of slides me sideways, Shift D slides me the other way. Then I've got Z, X, and C as my my abilities. So Z is my lesser, X is my regular, C is my greater. And then when I'm doing stuff like repairing, I'm just kind of hitting over here. So that's kind of how I've got it set up. I'm looking over here to see that I have my repair is still running. If I hit R, that'll reload, and we'll see that my reload cooler is going. Let's see where this guy is. We might go kill him real quick. I might repair, since I'm out of combat, may as well. Might actually resummon those mummies too. They're getting kind of low. This is definitely kind of stop-start with a little bit of narration throughout, but yeah, every now and then it's nice to just get a refresh. Sometimes you're kind of moving quickly enough that your cooldowns will still be ticking, so you want to make sure you still have those. This mummy's up. We're going to make sure they are guarding me. We've got our reactive armor, magic reflection. You can throw a bless and an arc protection on your crew. That helps keep them a little bit more alive. Yeah, let's just roll over this Tide Collar Carrack and sink it real quick. So we're going to roll up again. We'll throw down our greater ability, throw down a curse, poison the crew, and my background script is healing me, so that's nice. Still doing the crew. I see that my cannons are ready in about 2 seconds. I'll throw down my regular ability on them. Keep poisoning the crew. And they're pretty low, but it's good to get them super low. Another thing you can do at sort of this juncture is you can pull off a little bit and clump them up. And that helps with your AoE spells that are coming. Tide Callers seem pretty dumb about their clumping, but in any case. So this one I'll throw down actually my secondary lesser ability. I used explosive there. That does some more damage on their hull so that we won't have to deal with that. Board them. Throw down a chain lightning. That was a crappy one because I guess I hit somebody that was far away from everybody else. Also a crappy one there. It's a bummer when they're not patched up and you just got to do a little bit more mopping. This Nox Necro template. Since I'm relatively low on like links and that sort of stuff, I'm T6 aspect, so or T12 poison aspect, but only about 8 links. So yeah, it's good to have them poisoned. You get that benefit from extra damage. This is a super slow one. Normally they go a bit quicker than that if you can get some good AoEs. Bring the crew back. Our spyglass is still running, so we'll see in the corner here if it hits a gray boat coming in. All right, so we've looted those guys. We'll take a look at the script once we're safely ashore. Look at the hatch. Got a little message there that'll tell me if I missed something. It's nice to know how much they have left. World save. So they're at 2,600. For the sake of kind of getting out of here quick, I'm going to throw down a bomb, hop on here, repair my sails. I'm going to pull a little bit away, since I don't want the bomb to hit me, and since the sails are already repairing, that won't cause an issue in the sort of cooldown there, or the in combat. So that did a lot of damage, but not quite enough. Go ahead and when the cannons are ready, so we'll dump our stuff, shoot our cannons, and we'll head on out of here. So let's call that an outing. We've kind of seen the core mechanics. I'd say within here, I usually go to somewhere between like 60 to 90k doubloons before I head back in. If I've got more than one upgrade, more than a couple crew, I'll kind of head in. That's sort of the time where it starts to feel a little bit exposed for me. And so yeah, we made some gold, some booty, some dubs. Not too much in the way of special loot there, but we did get a crew, so we'll take a look at that. I can hit one of my secondary abilities, helps heal my crew, so that's a nice one. we're going to just mosey right back in. Looks like I'll be able to repair freely in about 17 seconds, but I might have my one in combat repair available. So we'll be able to hit that. So we were out there for 14 minutes or so. Made 21K doubloons with a fair bit of talking. 10K gold, or 9,200 gold. And then, yeah, not really much special loot to speak of, but this crew could be total trash, or it could be hopefully 50 million gold for a crazy one. It's like playing the lottery on those guys. So we'll roll back in. And then I did want to show as well the convenience of this shipping crate feature. So I'll zoom in a little ways. So we're here. I can say on the dock ship gump, we've got this shipping crate option here. And so this has now sent the shipping crate with everything that was in my hold to the center of my in room, which is super nice. I'll dock my ship. It tells me I have a crew contract waiting. I can stop my background script. I can get rid of my mummies. I do want to go to shelter to get stuff out. I could pick up that crew from that salvage master, but then, you know, a random standing on that dock could kill me. This is a veteran marine. Crew boarding chance, not that good. Veteran marine, not that good. I'll just move it to my bank box and we will sacrifice that individual for aspect, or for essence at some point. So then the last bit I'll show is I'm gonna hop back home, hop into my in room, and so we've got this crate right here. And so from a convenience perspective, I just chuck these right in my bank so that I'm able to pick this up, pick it up, hit my organize script, and it's just dumping everything for me. So now I don't have to do any further organization. I can chuck that crate out. It's basically put all of any maps that I get into these tomes, any skill scrolls, aspect stuff, ship upgrades. It'll throw any kind of research materials. It'll throw all of my unidentified stuff in there, so it'll also restock me. I'm back up to my reg, bomb, all that sort of stuff loadout, good to go. So now I can just recall back to another dockmaster, wait my 180 seconds of cooldown for the 3 minutes of travel. Or if you have other dockmaster houses on your same Outlands ID, you can launch instantly from those. You can, in theory, get up to 3 instant launch locations around the map if you wanted to do that. I really enjoy the in-room, so even when I am kind of in the mode of buying insta-launch dockmasters, I think this would be the very last account that I put one on, because it's so convenient to just be able to securely sort of send my shipping crate off, and it sits in this in-room. It can be picked up by an alt. It's not like sitting out on the front porch of a house, as shipping crates do if you have a house. It's super convenient, and I just have to get to it in less than the hour before it decays. So let's take a look at what we were running there. As far as the background script, this is kind of a cobbled together version of some JSON stuff and some Brozan stuff. It's going to do some of the JSONs, strength potion, necromancy hotbar, healing, curing, that sort of stuff. It'll eat mushrooms for us, and then this part is where it's going to hit the spyglass on the loop. And this one, as I said, kind of cobbled together. It can definitely be disrupted by me doing manual stuff like poisoning and boarding and other things that involve targeting. So kind of weird, but it works more than it doesn't, and passable enough. This will actually, if we see a gray boat, it'll start shouting over my head that, hey, there's a player boat coming in. But it also does it for green boats. It's just looking for sort of the boat by name. So if we're, with my buddies or a party or something like that, it'll be shouting at me unless I set this little flag up here to 0, and then it won't tell me even if a fleet of gray boats is rolling up on me. So that's the background script. The dump loot script, it was basically, so first I'll say set the hold variable. This is the one where we're saying when I first hopped on, I'm going to target the hold and I'm going to target the bag. So I'm setting these couple variables so that when I do this dump loot script, it's able to, well, first it'll hit the spyglass because we want to know if anybody's coming. Then it'll just check for gold, booty, all this sort of stuff. And then it'll dump others, rags and leather and all that sort of stuff. It's hit or miss. It dumps the stuff that it dumps. It doesn't, for example, dump like arcane scrolls, which is just such a trivial thing. I haven't even looked at troubleshooting it. And it'll dump unidentified items into the bag. I found, and I've heard others mention that it doesn't really like to dump the unidentified items into the hold for some reason. It doesn't do that well, so that's why there's that extra step of like putting a bag in there. It seems to handle that better, dumping the un-ID items into the bag than into the hold for whatever reason, and this may just be not a good script. So that's dumping all that into the hold. This one's looting the enemy hold. This might actually be kind of similar to the one that Jason set up on his stream. I think it's using a restock agent. It's going out to find the hold, loot everything from the restock agent, and basically treat the hold as kind of a treasure chest, is my understanding. This is my pain spike one. I just hit F6 and it finds the body instead of me sort of needing to target the body. That works pretty well. Every now and then I feel like it picks a body that's way off, far away from people, and doesn't do any damage, so that's a little dumb. I think that's the bulk of what I've got going on in Razor. I've got some hotkeys for spells, harm. I guess maybe I don't have a hotkey. Surely I do. Oh, I'm reading this from my crafter. Let's pull up the actual, the scripts are all the same, but the hotkeys are going to be different because it's a different profile. So we look at hotkeys here. We got like harm. Yeah, so we got like harm, poison strike. Pain spike is the one that's doing that little script we took a look at. I've got like flame strike, chain lightning, that sort of stuff as hotkeys on here, greater heal, that sort of thing. But then I've got a bunch in the incline macros as well. So all of my movement ones, for example, like forward left is going to be Q, forward is going to be W, forward right is going to be E, that sort of thing. So I keep a lot of these over in here. Embark followers, reload, those are all sort of say commands there. This one's hitting, this is my send boarding party. It's hitting a couple necromancy abilities. It's also saying out loud that I'm boarding, so that sets the cooldown rolling there. This could probably be better scripted. I think poisoning each of the enemy crew manually, that could definitely be scripted. I've heard of people doing that. I just have not kind of gone through the legwork of sorting it out, figuring it out. These are hitting my repair guns and then starting the cooldown ticking. The cooldowns are pretty useful as well. So the cooldowns are not like combat likely. It's kind of looking for when you say hull remaining, or when the system says hull remaining, that means you've kind of just shot your abilities. But there are scenarios where, for example, like if your crew is poisoned and they're kind of on, that counts as boat-to-boat combat, or if the enemy crew is poisoned, that'll keep that sort of 1 minute timer ticking even when you're not actively sort of shooting at them. So you can kind of gauge when your combat's done, but I don't think anybody has a perfect cooldown for that. I've got cooldowns for how long my mass curse is active. I got cooldowns for like if I send a boarding party and it fails, I have to wait 20 seconds for that, for chain lightning, meteor swarm, that sort of stuff. As far as the skills and the loadout, I think this is a fairly common PVM boating setup. I got poisoning, taste, and necro, and so yeah, this is basically a Nox necro mage. I've got poison aspect at T12 for my grimoire. Create food for mushrooms. Harm I use a fair bit. Just a couple points in some of these other ones that I'll occasionally cast on my crew when I'm going towards a bigger boat. Lightning and I think magic arrow as well I use infrequently. Curse is great because this will increase my damage by 25%. So this is where I hit their mast with a mass curse, and it kind of makes all their crew a little bit more squishy. And then critically, these are the AoE spells. When these are maxed out, the first time I cast this spell every 20 seconds, the damage is increased, and if I target a creature directly, the spell will only hit creatures, and it will ignore my buddies, my crew, and my followers. So that's how you can kind of get those AoE big drops without hitting your crew, because then they would attack you. So you can only do that once every 20 seconds, but it's nice to have. So that's basically the grimoire. The poison kit, I've just kind of picked some stuff. Might be good, might not be good. There might be other people with better ideas there. Yeah, I think that's the bulk of it. So that's kind of the gameplay loop. As I board, I'm going down this with manual clicks. I embark, pull up my hotbars, embark my followers, reload the cannons, and ready the crew. Then I do that mechanism that I was mentioning where I bring in, where is it? These I don't use. I was experimenting with those. They don't really work. Where I sort of set up my hold variable and bag variable to be able to dump the loot, and then I'm ready to roll. I set my background script running. It's okay. It kind of works, but it does hit the spyglass and it shouts at me if a gray boat comes on the glass. Also kind of annoying when I jump onto the boat that I've just boarded. It thinks my boat is classifying as this as well, so then it'll shout at me that there's an enemy boat, and it's really just my boat 5 tiles away. Basically, I'm throwing down some abilities with hotkeys that are say commands in the in-client macros. I will mass curse the enemy crew, poison all of the enemy crew. Once their sails or hull are low enough, I'll board. Then I'll just dump some AoE spells, mop everyone up. I'll skin to loot, and any of those along the way, like looting my hold, looting their hold, dumping my hold, skinning, I've often got a hit a spyglass snippet in there as well, just so that it'll just keep this thing over here as up to date as possible. You don't want to be caught off guard by an enemy boat. Once I've looted everything, I'll hop back over to my side. Sometimes I'll throw down a ship bomb. Sometimes I'll just shoot them with cannons. And then I go on and sing a sea shanty and go back to do the rest. So I've got my sea shanty all ready to go there. Hope that was valuable. Maybe it wasn't. Thanks for watching.